Okay, hey there, Jennifer. I just wanted to create this very quick run through of all of the cool features within the Google Workspace application. Um, so let's go ahead and run through a few things that I guess will make you more of a power user with the program. So obviously to access the application, you can log in through google.com or just straight to gmail.com, which is probably um, the easiest to remember. Once you're accessed into your Gmail, you have the ability to pull up all of your apps by clicking this here, or you can go directly to certain things that you want to access that are just like direct features itself. Sorry about that. You can add on the features here if you want to have um, the buttons right here to access quickly, or you can just go over here to this button. Now, there are ways to set up reminders for yourself, right? You can add a date and time to remind yourself of certain tasks. That way, it's just a way to kind of organize within your business. Uh, Here, another way to kind of keep notes, and then a quick, like I guess a quick access button to get to your calendars, but we'll get to that later. So within the suite of Workspace, you have all of these different applications. You have Docs, which actually is another version of Microsoft Word. So you technically do not need Office 365 anymore. You can use this as Microsoft Word or as an alternative. It saves it in the same doc files, and you can open these doc files in Microsoft Word, right? Sheets is another version of Microsoft Excel, saves it in an XLS and CSV file, and it can open in Microsoft Excel with those same exact files. Slides is basically PowerPoint, right? Microsoft PowerPoint. Google Drive, you already obviously know what that is your cloud storage drive. Um, Here, obviously, you can add in all your contacts within, I mean, it'll be your own personal contacts, personal emails, or who other business contacts out there. Chat is a way for your organization to chat with each other. Let's just say most of everyone is, working remotely at this time. You can chat directly to people, or you can set up a room, right? So let's say I decide I wanted to chat with a specific person. I can say I'm chatting with my colleague Thomas, and I could, type whatever to him, and it'll be a direct message to him. Or you can create a room, and you can call it, KU Design, and maybe this is for the design team for them to collaborate. Well, if they're working from home, they can always um, chat with each other here. They can upload stuff to each other. They could, share a Google Drive with each other. Or if they want, they decide, you know what, they want to make it a face-to-face conversation. They can click on this video option and then just have, a face-to-face combo with them. Now that's just the chat feature. Um, what you're probably going to use the most is the meetings if you're working remotely. So if we click on meeting here or Google Meet, you have the option of scheduling a meeting or starting an instant meeting. So creating a meeting for later, it actually generates something. Uh, Actually, let me take a step back. So you create a meeting. It'll give you this information. You can copy it and then you can provide it to people, or you can start an instant meeting. So this right here, it'll go directly to the meeting room where you can hold the conversation or hold the meeting. I'm in there now. As you can see, this is the meeting details. So when you create a meeting room, it actually generates a toll-free US number. Actually, I wouldn't say it's toll-free. It's a 678 number. So you can provide this to people who want to just call in and they can just punch in this PIN code. Or if you have like a headset or you're just on a laptop with a mic or camera and whatever, you can just talk through your computer. So This generates a phone number. Let's just say I know that Ken has some clients in Europe, and let's say you wanted to hold a meeting from Europe to the US and they wanted to call in instead. You can click on more numbers and locate a number in that location, let's say Russia or Romania or whatever, and that would be a dial-in number for them. That's if they don't want to join in via computer, they can do so. So you just have two options, right? People can call in, people can just join in on their laptops. Um, so that's one way of creating a meeting room. Now the other way to do that is through your calendar. And I know that's something that you asked for earlier. So let's go ahead and access the calendar. So with the calendar, you have the ability to share your calendar within your organization, right? So right now, I can see what Thomas does. I can see obviously what I do. So um, right here is an indicator of mine in blue and then his in white. But I sent him the invite for two different for the same meeting. So that's why you're seeing two of these here. So the way you would set this up is if you go hit this little settings icon and I click on settings for my calendar, I can say, you know what, I want to make my calendar available to my organization. In this case, yours would be, Kenneth Yusenko Design. And by doing this, by making it available, anyone who wants to see your calendar, let's say I don't want to see Thomas anymore, I can uncheck it. But let's say I want to see Jennifer or Janelle or whoever else that's in here, I could just take a look at what they're doing and have that available. It'll just populate against the calendar. And let's say you're somebody who's in sales or whoever, or somebody's calling in and they say, hey, I want to schedule a meeting with Jennifer. um, that person who's working the front desk or who's handling phone calls and is trying to schedule in maybe a sales call, they could look at your calendar and say, okay, Jennifer's available at this time. Let's create an invite for you. So this is how it would work. You just kind of click in a certain area. Let's say I want to create a um, meeting, right, for Jennifer. I don't know. Call it anything you want. Right here, you could um, set it up as an event. Maybe you're out of office, so this will be a good way to kind of block out a certain amount of time where you're like, okay, I'm gonna be on PTO this time or on vacation or whatever. Set up certain tasks, maybe just a reminder or certain appointment slots that you could. So a lot of things you can play with, but in this case, I'm going to set up an event. Now, in this event, I'm going to say, or this for this meeting, I'm going to say this meeting is at 1 p.m. right to 2 p.m. It's just an hour long, and then I can start adding in my guests. I'll go ahead and add myself. Well, actually, it's going to automatically add myself. So I'm sorry. I'm going to go add in Thomas. So there's two people obviously in this guest list. What I'll do here is I'll say, you know what? I want people to join in a Google Meet. So by clicking on this, well, I'm sorry, it's going to add that in automatically. So let me take a step back. Yeah, so I believe by default it's going to add in this Google Meet um, code, meaning it's going to add in a meeting code for people to join. It's going to auto generate a phone number. I believe these phone numbers they dynamically change. They're not always the same. So you hit save. Um, you could say send the invitations, but I'm just going to say don't send it just because this is just a test. So now I have a meeting for Jennifer. Let's say I want to look at the details for this meeting here. Um, Now here are the people here. Obviously you can put a description of what the meeting's about, blah, blah, blah. Um, and so that would be the details of the meeting. So let's say I sent out the meeting to somebody. It's on their calendar, right? All I need to do is click on this and I see the details. So let's say I'm the recipient, I'm receiving the invite. I would be seeing this on my calendar. I can join in with Google Meet or I can call in. In this case, I'll join in, right? So I'm joining in on the meeting that's going to happen at 1 p.m., right? I can join now. I can join with the camera or right here. I could join with my mic on or whatever. All these different settings. You can even change your background, which is something I haven't even played with yet. I guess that's something new. I know Zoom has that. So you join it, and now you're in the meeting. People can, have a face-to-face conversation. Everybody, it's like a meeting room. So yeah, that's the benefits of having a Google Workspace um, subscription. You have the ability to kind of use organizational type of features within the app. Aside from that, let's see. There are other cool apps out there that you can build, like forms and everything else, but I think a lot of these are free. The things that you'll be paying for is just obviously like more space, being able to share your calendar with people, Google Meet. Um, that is primarily it, and obviously you'll have the custom domain. Yeah, and I think that is basically it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to send me an email or send me a text message. Thanks.